people are really gonna watch this.
They ain't got nothing else to do.
Right?
Word.
I ain't going on social media talking shit about TDS Radio. I know that much.
My man, Coach Block.
What's up, cuz? How we living?
You're rocking with TDS Radio.
Get it, Kim. All right. She got a vision, and she want us to execute this vision.
Ooh, man. That's what TDS is about today.
Ken and Kim are the two dopest siblings that I know.
All right, man. You ready?
Am I ready? Are they ready? What's up? It's your man, Coach Block, one half of TDS Radio, and I am here with
The healing consultant, Barna Spencer.
Auntie V. Auntie V is here with me, and
TV.
we are in a different location. We'll be back at another location. I don't even know when, probably tomorrow or Friday. I'm not sure. But while we're here, we're going to have a good time. If there's any difficulties, folks, just drop it in the comments. Let me see, and I'll be able to fix whatever needs to be fixed if it needs to be fixed. So, we're going to just jump straight into the show. How was your day today? How was your good Wednesday?
It was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday. All right.
But it's okay.
Okay.
It's done.
It's in the books.
It's in the books.
It's in the books. So for those that don't know or are watching, tell them what your profession is.
I am a nurse anesthesiologist.
And so today you had to do what?
I had to save a life.
Save a life.
Save a life, honey. All
Gracefully.
day long.
Yes.
Save a life.
And came in here like nothing. Like she didn't just save somebody's life.
Because you got to do what you got to do. You know?
How does that, we're going to get to the show, y'all, but let's talk a little bit with Auntie V. Okay. So how does that work with you just decompressing after something like that in your day? You know, because your work day is how many hours?
Oh, God. It depends. I like to say 8 to 10, but in reality, probably 10 to 14.
Okay.
Usually.
Okay.
And they're long. You know, anybody that's ever had a procedure, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I'm the one that gives you the anesthesia. And sometimes it is what it is. I would say sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. So, but you try your damnedest to be the windshield all the time. And so it makes it difficult because honestly, it's like you ride this high.
Yeah.
Because you're just trying to, as I said, save a life. So you're way up here all the time. So coming down off of that,
right.
Whew, that can be that can be interesting.
Yeah.
Today I had, because it's an hour and a half drive. You know, I get time to put my music on,
right,
and to, as they say, have a little talk with Jesus.
I know that's right. Yeah.
And so you do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as I say, you switch the channel. Does it take a minute? Yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
It takes even in those immediate moments, how do you handle that? Because I mean, do you go from patient to patient, or do they give you time to decompress from something like that?
Not always. You don't always get the opportunity to do that. Sometimes you're blessed if you do have the opportunity to decompress, to just kind of sit with your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of paperwork.
Okay.
That comes with that. So to kind of sit with your thoughts.
Okay.
But you try. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do have to go from patient to patient. And then it just, you deal with it at the end of your day.
Okay.
At the end of your shift.
Okay. Yeah.
Completely off the subject, but my profession has a high, on a whole, we have high rates of dependent behavior, i.e. smoking, drinking, whatever your vice is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
And and you do it for a long period of time.
Right.
Sometimes you're doing it, if you're on a 24-hour call, you hope you don't have to do it for 24 hours, but You have,
but it's a
sometimes
possibility.
You do.
Okay.
Yeah, of course it is. Sometimes you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you spend time you try your darndest to wind it down,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and
which is why she
looks
says she ain't got time for dumb stuff when everything is
no, I don't. I don't. I don't.
So I don't have time for dumb stuff. I've just been dealing with people's lives all day.
I ain't got time for it.
I know that's right.
I never do. But I've never, which is probably why I'm good for this profession.
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Yeah.
I do not have time for dumb shit. I never have been.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Right. I
don't do that.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And because you have to have a clear mind doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Well. You know what I mean? Because coming in there, you are the key to keeping somebody, to waking somebody up.
Yeah. Or keeping them alive too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I would say that I had I know of a doctor who used to, I think she said it best. Because she would say, she goes, I never want to have your job. She said, because you hang people off a cliff and you just let them dangle there. She said, and then you try to yank them back, when I'm done.
That's a wild way to put it, but I see what she's saying.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. Listening to her, I'm like, well, it doesn't sound like an appealing job.
Right.
But that's really what you do.
Yeah.
You go against every primitive response you have. Your fight or flight. You have the will. Your will to live means breathing, having a heart rate, having a blood pressure, all, thinking. That's survival mode every day, all day. And I take it all away. And not only do I take it all away, I make you what we call amnestic. So you don't remember. We set up an environment for a surgeon to either take something out or put something in.
Right.
But we maintain all of your bodily functions.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
And we put on top of that, we don't want you to remember and we want you to be pain-free. So that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And then you come here.
And then yeah.
So then let's do it.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. So Auntie V's not just going to talk about CBD today. She's going to do everything and talk about CBD. So we are going to do the messy letter. We're going to do birthdays. We're going to do all that stuff because I know Kim is somewhere watching, trying to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I am.
We good.
Yeah, we good. So just know we got this. So I'm going to start out with the birthdays, but you said you did have a special birthday. So go ahead and give a shout out.
Sharon.
Happy birthday,
in
cousin
Georgia.
Sharon. Happy birthday.
It's her birthday. So happy birthday. Happy birthday.
So let's see. Who do I have today? I have Marzette Odell, who is a football player I used to coach. We got Paul Cornwell, Tawanda Tart, and one of the therapists who I've had on my sports podcast, Miss Flynn. It's her birthday as well. And for Tawanda, we're going to give you a special shout out because it is that 50th birthday. So happy 50th birthday. Unfortunately, guys, because we're in a different spot, I don't have our sound bite. So all I can do is just say, happy birthday. Right. I would sing it if I wasn't all nasally. I can,
I can't sing.
I can do a little bit.
Really?
I
can't sing.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Kim is the singer. She just hides it. But she can sing. She went to school for it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she can sing. Every now and again when we do karaoke, you can get her to get out of it.
Okay.
Because it's funny when we do karaoke, people see us together. They're like, y'all should sing more often because we're family. We have the pitch for each other. And so every now and again we do it. It's very rare, but every now and again we'll do it. And people are like, Coach, you do that? No, I do other things too.
Yeah. I've got singers in my family.
You
too.
do?
I can't sing with the there's 1% of people who can't sing.
Yeah.
I think I'm the 1%. I really do. I come from very strong. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've got singers in my family.
See, you're Southern. Most Southern people got the soul.
I know I got soul. I just don't have a pitch.
You just don't. Oh, okay.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
So when you in your own zone, you getting it from the heart.
That's where it's coming from because it ain't coming from nowhere else. So
it's just the tone.
Ain't nobody asking me to sing. They asking family members, other family members. They're not asking me.
I ain't mad at it. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna jump into some entertainment news because we got a few stories, not a lot, but a few stories because people out here acting crazy. So let's get into some entertainment news. We were just talking about you, so Fab Kim. We were saying we need to show those pictures. Miss Auntie V says she likes that beginning picture.
Oh, I do.
So we're going to go ahead and start off with what everybody is talking about, and that is Diddy. Take that, take that. So, it's over here. Come on in. So Mr. Diddy today was denied bond.
Yeah.
And he put up a lot. Hold on one sec. I do have it here of what he tried to persuade the court with to say, please let me stay home. And it did not work.
No.
Let's see. So
was it 50 million?
It was so he said he's going to give up the 50 million. All right. Then the courts could have secured his home in Miami, Florida, which is worth 48 million. Then he even put up his mama's house. He put up the mama's house. Wow. He said he was going to give up the passports for all his kids. Now,
all his kids.
All the kids. He put them all down. He said he was going to give up all their passports along with his passports. And the only place that he would ask to travel was to New York for business purposes. No. They said no.
Yeah, they said no.
That's not happening.
No, yes, of course they said no.
And so you gave us some information for Puff to be in this situation now. We were talking off air.
We were.
The case is pretty much built at this time.
You don't mess with the Southern District of New York. I think I was telling you, I know people who know lawyers who work for the Southern District of New York. Those little mofos don't play.
Right.
Those are the people that put away, like Gotti and, set up for all the drug trafficking. Those were the people that were precursors to that whole Elliot Ness, the whole, going Capone and all them. Those lawyers are the basis for the Southern District of New York.
And this is what he's dealing with.
They are relentless. Those people. I remember I was telling you, I have a friend of mine who we were talking about the Southern District of New York and how incredibly, I guess, focused they are.
Yes.
But they're the reason why Trump left New York. They were just waiting. They were building their case the whole time. They were waiting for him to leave office.
Right.
And you see, once he left office, they
jumped on him. Yeah.
Yes.
Jumped on him.
Made him leave.
Yeah.
His happy home. That's why he fled to Florida.
Right.
The Southern District of New York are no joke. Yeah. And their lawyers are beyond reproach. A lot of them are recruited early in their careers. They are, you talking about vetting.
Yeah.
Their vetting is no joke.
Yeah.
So that when they go after these type of criminals like Diddy, they cannot be bribed. They cannot be persuaded.
Right.
There's nothing in their past that you have leverage on. And like I said, they're slow and steady, honey.
Yeah. And so that was the reason why they said they denied the bail, because they don't want him to intimidate any witnesses. And they said that he is known for doing that. Yeah. So at this point in time, they just told him to sit tight. His attorney said some, I don't have the video of it, but his attorney had said some ridiculous stuff, such as the housing conditions in the detention facility that Diddy is in are difficult.
I'm sure they are.
Inhumane. So
I'm sure they are.
I don't know what he thought he was getting into, because this is jail.
Yes.
What did you think was going to happen?
It's no different than any other incarcerated person.
Correct. They're not. You're not getting special treatment here, bub.
You're not special.
What are we talking about? So I don't understand this in his mind, and hopefully he's taking this a lot more seriously than what R. Kelly did, because R. Kelly thought it was a game and tried to play and manipulate the media.
Yeah.
But this is serious.
Honey, they're not going to arrest you if it's not serious.
Right.
I mean, if we can all remember, they've been doing things for quite a while. They've been raiding homes. They've been taking statements.
Yeah.
They've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
They're not going to pick you up. Those people are not going to pick you up unless they got a case.
Correct. And the one of the recent things that was let out was a text message that Diddy sent Cassie, his artist, and his girlfriend, where I guess there was a situation where they were at one of his freak offs, is what they call them, and things got crazy because he assaulted Cassie there, and he ended up texting her, and they have the text message where it says, call me, the cops are here, I got 6 kids, yo, please call me, I'm surrounded, you're gonna abandon me and leave me all alone.
Yeah.
So, and there's multiple text messages. Like, this is pretty much like you said, now it's just like playing spades, and they just throwing the spades on the table, bang, one after another.
Shoot. They gonna ride him like allegedly he was doing other people. they gonna ride him like a horse.
And there are some things that are comical about it, but then there's some that are not. But
because it's serious.
The comical part is like, what did he have all that lubrication for? Like, why did they find all that? Then they found like an abundance of sex toys and things like this. Like, these are none of this stuff. Not saying it's illegal to have it, but none of this is helping your case. Like,
well, no, but correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't he record a lot of this?
He does.
This activity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a video that surfaced with him, Kevin Hart, Usher, and he had slipped and said some things inside that interview. And Kevin Hart was like, did anybody hear this? Like, and they're joking and laughing, but it really was not, the content wasn't funny. It was basically talking about how Usher was young and a high school kid and was sleeping in the same bed with him, stuff like that, which was kind of crazy at that time.
Well, hadn't that always been the rumor?
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but
because once again, what is this high school boy doing staying with a grown man?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That
just like that was little Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber, yeah.
When he was young, was this not the same stuff going on?
It was
then too.
Yep.
I mean, it's been a number of artists,
and it's ridiculous. Like,
it is.
At this point in time, let's go ahead and peel the Band-Aid off. Let's get all of the guys that are doing this, because he's not the only one.
God, no.
And I'm sure more throughout this process with Diddy are going to show up. Like, I think Diddy's going to take a Nino Brown approach. It ain't just me. I'm telling on everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I don't know. He may decide to tell all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going down by myself.
And there's other people who know. Like, so for example, I'm curious to see who some of these witnesses are that get called. Because you figure there's some oldie but goodies. You got Faith.
Yeah.
You got Mary J. Blige. You got Mace, the rapper Mace.
Yes.
There's people who are still alive that have seen this in action.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, and let's not forget Cat.
There we go.
Because he. You know what I thought? I thought, ooh, what about that interview now?
Yeah.
Y'all need to go back.
He said it. Did he not call it? Like,
he said it. And did he not say that things were gonna go down?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'll take a sip. I'm gonna take a sip on that one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Talk about him if you want to.
Right. He didn't lie.
That was yes.
One thing that all the people who even spoke up against Cat, the one thing I noticed is none of them called him a liar.
No.
They called him miserable or this or that or the third, but not one of them said that's not true.
Yeah. Not only did they not say it's not true, nobody had any legal action against him.
Not a stitch.
No one said anything. Be oh man,
Yeah, he's tripping. Yeah. But ain't nobody.
ain't no, because society.
Absolutely.
So if he were lying,
oh yeah, there would have been consequences.
There would have been consequences to that. And I said it then. I was like, well, you can say what you said, but nobody's saying anything back. Nobody's really saying anything back.
No, not at all.
Cat has been a lot of things, but a liar
is not one of them. Yeah, he takes the good, the bad, and the ugly.
He certainly does.
And so, hopefully, Puff, you take the good, bad, and the ugly, because it's getting real for you right now?
I don't think he's going to take. I don't think he's going to take it graciously. I
You
don't think so. I don't think so. I think I don't. Well, I don't know what this. All I can say is I don't think he's going to go down alone. I think he's going to take. I think he's going to try to take.
There's going to be some
him.
people with him. I agree.
I think so. I think he's going to try it.
Yeah.
Whether it sticks or not.
Yeah. So hopefully. Now, here's another person who's too damn old to be doing some crazy stuff. And this is my man. And I like him. One of the most dominant NBA players in the world, Shaq Diesel. So Shaq is out here after his divorce, living his best life. But there was a young lady who posted, you know, her encounter with Shaquille O'Neal. And he is out there denying it. And so she went, because she was upset that he called her a liar, and she went and literally posted the night and posted him sleeping on the couch and posted the gift that she received that says Diesel on it. Got the video. We're going to show it.
Let's see.
Let's be messy for a minute.
Let's see.
Oh, it says Diesel. Shaq, welcome back to Horizon.
That's all Shaq. Shaq is up there. Yeah.
Yeah. That was nice.
Yeah. Shaq is up there.
And what is she, like 12?
That's the problem. Like, come on, Shaq.
She's a baby.
Come on, man. And so she's clearly backstage, and there you go, DJ and Shaq.
Yes.
You know, you trying to act like this didn't happen, man, but it definitely, she got the tapes and she is running them.
Well, I mean, seriously.
Right.
Okay. So these older men, come on.
Yeah.
Because number one, you're messing around with these little young women.
Yeah.
Do you honestly, what do you think they want you for?
They just want that money.
Yes. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. So this is a fact.
Yeah.
You know, after the age of 35, 40, men go downhill. Now, women go up. Women go up. So you younger women,
Auntie B, I'm fighting it now. I'm fighting it.
You should. You should.
Because you ain't lying. I was just joking with Kim. I said, I remember my mom said at 40, things immediately start to change. And you don't even ask for it. Like when she realized that she needed readers. Yeah. It was like, she said, literally, it just happened overnight.
Absolutely did. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Mine was a Jello incident.
For real?
Yeah, it happened overnight. She's absolutely correct.
She was like, one morning I woke up, I couldn't see the keyboard. I'm like, damn.
Right.
But
she's right.
Now at 43, I went to bed and my knee didn't hurt. I woke up, my knee hurts. Like, what the?
That's interesting because it's like, sometimes you're like, well, damn, do I go to sleep? Because I know if I go to sleep,
something might be different.
I'm gonna wake up and something's gonna hurt. Yeah, which is why y'all need my salve.
Yeah,
but that's a whole different.
I use it religiously.
Absolutely,
yes.
Because it's like, damn, I'm scared to go to bed. I'm scared to lay down. I'm
what's
scared
gonna
to take
happen?
a nap.
Yeah, because I feel good now.
Wake up.
And what happens?
What's gonna happen?
Right.
I'm gonna sneeze too hard, and that's gonna be it.
It's over.
It's over.
And it's over. And that's crazy. So like, as you're saying, like, Shaq, you're too old for this. You have children that are probably that young lady's age, which is creepy. And then this is not a good look for where you're at mentally and emotionally after this divorce. Because she married a pastor, moved on, and all that stuff. Now you out here as DJ Shaq with all these kids.
Yes, and he doesn't have to. Seek professional help.
You're Shaq.
You're Shaq.
You know how many, like, the money that you have is endless. You own so much.
Absolutely.
Like, he definitely took after the school of Magic Johnson. Like, you own so much. It's insane.
As you should.
But let's not do this.
Yes.
Like,
so this is the thing with older men. Older men are either going to settle into that age and do it gracefully.
Yes.
Do it with style, do it with grace, do it with whatever it is. And know it is what it is.
Let's ride. Yeah.
And I'm going to accept, I'm going to deal with the female or whomever where I am.
Yeah.
You have to meet me where I am.
Yeah.
Or you do Shaq stuff, which is like Shaq has got to be 60 at least.
Let's see how old Shaquille O'Neal is.
He's got to be. messing with a young lady that I'm sure he has a child that's older than her.
Right.
There's no good coming out of that.
Nah, none.
That's not even a one night stand.
No, Shaq is 52.
Okay, well he looks older, but okay, we'll give him
but
that.
that young lady still looked in her early
What is
to
she?
mid 20s.
Yes,
if that.
like just legal.
Yeah, like barely.
Yes.
Barely. Like, and what does this young lady have to lie for?
Yeah.
Come on, Shaq. Like,
well, and then you call her out, and then she's like, "Well, okay, here."
Yeah. Now here's the proof.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
Now that makes you look like a fool.
Absolutely.
And you need to be careful what you're doing with these young girls because they ain't playing no games. Next thing you know, it'll be a Diddy situation.
Thank you. What is wrong with people like that?
I have no idea.
I mean, because I don't get it.
I have no idea.
I'm it's perplexing.
Right. So like when you say that,
Uh-huh.
I agree because okay, you take some of the young or the older middle-aged single Black women in Hollywood.
Yeah.
How come you ain't dealing with them? So you got people like Regina Hall and
absolutely
there's people out here where you're like, they're single.
Yes,
Shaq, I know you can go out with
yes.
these women.
Well, because
Sanan Lathan.
Don't be emailing me about what I'm about to say here.
All right, let's do it.
But because men mature at a slower rate than women. And when they're in their 50s, 60s, I think it honestly starts mid 40s.
Okay.
I think they realize that they are getting older.
Yeah.
And they want to live vicariously through.
Still holding on to it.
They are. With all their might. With all of their might.
See, and it's funny because I'm the exact opposite. I am really enjoying going into the stage of I am a mature older
you're
man.
Happy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because you're happy.
Yeah.
Because you have your significant other. And it's a beautiful thing to do that with a significant other, whomever that is. Whomever that is. That's a relationship, and you have to build a relationship.
Right.
Shaq is, my opinion.
Yeah.
Shaq is coming off a long-term relationship. With a woman that he obviously loved for a long time.
He did, because he said that was the biggest mistake he made was not loving her the way she should have been. He openly says that.
Yeah. And so when you don't do that, and then you've loved and lost.
Yeah.
That's hell.
Yeah.
That's hell.
Yeah.
You know, when you have loved and lost and you realize that it's because of you, or you actually contributed to that.
Yeah.
And you realize it too late.
Yeah.
Because this is a done deal.
Yeah.
And then you go do stupid shit. I mean, you do.
And get filmed doing it.
Because Shaq is old enough
to
understand oh God, y'all, sorry about this. What we used to call pimping 101.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything on tape.
Yeah.
I'm not texting you.
Yeah.
I'm not emailing you.
Yeah.
I'm not even phone calling you.
Right. None of this even happened.
None of this. No. We meeting in another state.
Yeah. None of this even happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last minute. I come pick you up. No trace.
Right.
It amazes me.
Yeah.
It amazes me.
It amazes me
Freaking
too.
Amazes
like
me.
my problem
on,
that I
people.
have is like you've been a superstar long enough to see the people who were before you mess up, and now you're one of those people where it's like, Shaq, don't go this way, Shaq.
He should know this game.
Yeah, you've seen it, you've been in it,
and this game is old as a hill.
Oh man, since the beginning of time,
this game has not changed.
Right.
None of this has changed.
None of it. Not a stitch.
Because this is just old. It's not even old school. It's just ancient.
It's the game. That's it's literally what it is.
Game.
It's the game.
It's
the game.
That's literally. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't hate. That's the game.
Literally why.
Yeah.
It's the game.
Okay.
Don't be mad at me because I know how to play better than you.
Right.
Shaq don't know how to play. And he should know how to play. He's been in this game for what? Well, how old is he? He was just draft, what, 16, 17, 18?
Shaq was 18, 19 years old when he went into the NBA.
Oh, please.
So he should definitely know.
Hell yeah. Like 3 or 4 times over.
So we're taking men, we're taking some serious L's out here today. So let's keep it rolling.
Talk to me.
Our Vice President Harris was asked today about the black man vote.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's talk about that, because she has a video where she was asked about what she's going to do to earn the black man's vote. So let's listen up.
Yes, I started way before I was at the top of the ticket at what I called an economic opportunity tour, focused on black men. Understanding that, for example, we have so many entrepreneurs in the community who do not have access to capital, but they've got great ideas, an incredible work ethic, the ambition, the aspiration, the dream, but don't have the relationships necessarily. So my work has included, as vice president, getting billions more dollars into community banks, including working with the big banks to do that, so that we can increase access to capital for our small businesses, for our startups. Part of my plan under my economic opportunity plan going forward is that right now, startup entrepreneurs, small businesses only get a tax deduction of $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000. So I'm expanding that to $50,000.
So she was asked, how does she plan on earning the vote for black men who are, economically struggling and, have dreams and ambitions. So that was where she went. And later on, she goes and talks about how she feels like she has to earn the black man's vote, no different than any other candidate would and should have to.
Correct.
And so me, as a black man, I immediately get pissed off because we shouldn't be looking at her saying she has to earn our vote, because what she's going against, we know we should not be voting for that. There's nothing on the other side that has earned your vote or should be able to sustain your vote. There's nothing on that side for me as a black man that I see has the interest for me. Like, there's nothing Trump has said or anybody in his camp that says, you know what, I can identify with that as a black man. I got that. History shows me that it's the exact opposite on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
And as a black man, I haven't seen anything from Trump that has caused me to rethink his history with his relations towards African American or people of colors. I have not seen anything that causes me to feel differently. And he's already had his run as a president.
Yes.
So there's stuff that I could say, well, let's go back and look and see if we were a part of any of these decisions that he has made. And the answer is clearly no.
Yeah.
So what would change from your first run to your second run that would cause me as a black man to say, you know what, maybe I should give him a shot? I don't see it. And maybe because I'm not a political guy, I just read what's in front of me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. So because you are into politics, you can shed some light on her having to, quote unquote, earn. I hate that. I just hate the fact that she feels that way.
I do. I hate the fact that she feels that way. But that's a very complicated question. And the answer to that is complex.
Okay. Ooh, wrong person. Go ahead.
Well, because we look at our history. Black men have traditionally been conservative. A lot of them in the church. And we, black men traditionally hold a traditional value. And so trying to corral that demographic is multi-layered and complex.
Yeah.
Because black men are exactly that. They're multi-layered and they're complex. And they come from, a lot of them, in the age bracket that she's talking about
Mm-hmm.
Are 35, the demographic
Yeah.
35 and older.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you've been raised by, you've either been raised by a conservative mother or a conservative father or
Mm-hmm.
both.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your ideas of that.
Mm-hmm.
The people she's talking about,
Mm-hmm.
people that are starting businesses, people
Mhm.
that are doing these type of things.
Mhm.
Because the young kids, the young gentlemen,
Mm-hmm.
they're doing whatever they're going to do
Correct.
to get wherever they're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And that $5,000,
Yeah, that's not it. Yeah.
that's not it for them.
Yeah.
That's not it for
Yeah.
them. I mean, let's
Mhm.
be honest.
There's a
That's
young
not where they
man
are.
in our school who literally is a shoe connoisseur, and $5,000 to him is he laughs at it like it's nothing, and he's
Absolutely.
only 17 years old.
Absolutely.
But he has his thing. He's shown me how he sells his shoes and trades them and all that.
Yeah. 'Cause it's a
$5,000
hustle.
is nothing to him.
Well, yeah, because it's a hustle.
Mhm.
And they have been raised, and they have, on social media,
Mhm.
they've, their parents are that 35, 40,
Mhm.
45 demographic.
Mhm.
So they've had to get, for lack of a better word, get their hustle on.
Yeah.
And so they're making their money. So these young people, young
Mhm.
men,
Mhm.
they're doing what they need to do to
Right.
make their money because they haven't had the money.
Right.
So
right.
since they haven't had the money, they've known they have to do whatever
it
they
takes
need to do.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Whatever.
So she's
it
not
takes.
talking to them.
Mhm.
She's talking to Black men that are over the age of 35. I say 40-ish.
Mhm.
That's a hard demographic to
Right.
catch because number one, don't get me wrong, I feel that they need to be on board with that because the alternative,
Mhm.
I mean, seriously,
Right.
Trump's answer to it is, well, they haven't done anything for you.
Right.
Look,
So
why not try me?
Try me. Give me a try.
Why not try me?
Right.
That's it. That's his whole argument.
Mhm.
That's his whole thing.
Mhm.
I don't believe personally
Mhm.
that she needs to work that hard
Okay.
for African American
Mhm.
men.
Mhm.
I believe that they should, because I believe the alternative is not
Yeah.
what they want.
And see, that's how I feel. The
not
alternative
what
is
they
definitely
want.
not what we want to see.
No,
And we've seen it already. I mean, and
this
that's
is not new.
right. And so then, for one, can you speak to the position you hold? Because you do hold a serious position with
I
the
do.
Democratic. I'm sorry, give it to me.
Yeah, well, the North Carolina Democratic Party,
Yes.
as well as Democratic women. Yeah.
So now, with that being said and stated,
Yeah.
can you answer this question? I know you can't speak specifically for her,
No.
but this is something that I see men my age, like you said, 35 and that 35 to about 40 something age.
Oh yeah, well, and up.
And
So,
up,
it's
yeah.
like, it's at 35, 40 and up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the question that I keep seeing, and I need somebody who has the experience to
Okay.
explain it to us, because here's the question that I see.
Okay.
Well, she's vice president now. How come she's not doing these things that she talks about in her policy now?
Because she's not the president.
Thank you. I mean, it's a really simple answer, isn't
she's
it?
not the president.
Right.
She is not. Okay, so we all know civics,
Mm-hmm.
but her job,
Mm-hmm.
that they always say that's where people go to die. As a vice presidency.
Yeah.
Because you're just, I'm not gonna, puppet's not the right word, but you are an arm of the president.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Your policies don't get to trump his.
Right.
Pun on words, but it doesn't get to,
Right.
it does not.
Mhm.
You don't get to do that. You don't get to set policy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, because that's Biden's job.
Right.
That's Biden's job. Your job is to get it through the House.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is that tying vote.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is to be like the Speaker of the House, and if y'all are on the same party, and get your groove on.
Mm-hmm.
Get those people to vote your way.
Basically, Flavor Flav. You're the hype person.
You're the hype person. Your job is to hype them up, because the Speaker of the House, that's their job.
Yeah.
If you're the majority speaker,
Mm-hmm.
like Nancy Pelosi,
Yes.
your job up under like President Obama,
Mm-hmm.
your job is to wrangle in all your cats.
Get everybody hyped up.
And get you in line.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Speaker of the House is so important. But the Vice President,
Right.
Your job is to be the cheerleader. Your job is to be like, okay, y'all,
we
go
can do
get them.
this. We can do this. Yeah.
I'm the tying vote.
Yes.
If we need it.
Yes.
Because we're the party.
Yes.
But yeah, your job is not to set policy.
Where do these people, men specifically, where do we start with educating ourselves when we don't know about the different branches of government and all that? Like, because it may seem overwhelming. And I think a lot of people vote ignorant. They're just going with what they may see and what emotionally jars them. You know what I mean? But to be educated in it and say, okay, you need to know the branches, you need to know that. Where do you start?
Because that's a civics class.
Right.
I haven't been to high school in a while, junior high and high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned civics from school, because that's U.S. history. That's a class. That is a class.
It was my worst class.
Yeah, it's a class. It's U.S. history is a class. I don't know if they teach that now or not.
They do.
They do.
It's still there.
It is part of your history.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, when I was growing up, we had Education Rock.
Mm-hmm.
We had Education Rocks every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
You understood. They had songs to it.
Learning about bills.
Yeah. I'm just a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. And I'm stuck in committee. So you learn.
Yeah.
No, I can't sing. We've already discussed that. But you learn.
Yeah.
You learn how this works.
Yeah.
If nothing else, know that you have three branches. Understand and understand that you have a legislative body, you have an executive, and you have a judicial. And pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
When former President Trump gets 3 appointments, that's significant, because people say, "Oh, that's not going to affect my life." Well, it does. It's going to affect your life at least the next 50 years, if not more. Yeah. So pay attention. People spend a lot of time on YouTube. They spend a lot of time on TikTok and all this social media. It only takes a second.
Google it.
There are people out there that talk about this in 30 seconds or less. There really are.
Agreed. That's why I keep saying earn the vote. That makes me so mad.
It does.
If you just sit down and just literally just take the information that's in front of you and just read it.
Yeah.
You could clearly say, even if you're not a Harris fan, I know I can't vote for this though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's where I keep saying, read the Project 2025. Read as much as you can. And there are,
I think it's like 900 pages. So that's a lot.
Yeah, read as much as you can, and read sections that pique your interest. Like for me, the section that piqued my interest was childcare.
Yeah.
And once I seen how that not him, but it's the Heritage Foundation, how and others, they want to dismantle the Head Start program. It then took me to see how many people benefit from the Head Start program.
Oh my God.
And when we're talking about millions of children, families,
disproportionately African American, black and brown.
Black and brown.
Black and brown.
So now if you wipe that out, think about the education that you're wiping out for black and brown kids.
Yeah, because ideally they'd like to get rid of the Department of Education.
Yes. And so then now with that being said, if you are black and brown and you value education and there is a document that reads, we're eliminating this once again, even if you're not a Harris fan, how can you say you are a pro-Trump person?
Yeah. Well, if you look at the Department of Education, DeVos that he appointed, she was all about that.
Yeah. And didn't know what she was doing.
And ask a school teacher.
Yeah. Didn't know what she was doing.
She was all about that. She was all about privatization.
Yeah.
And school vouchers.
Yeah.
You don't believe me.
Yeah.
Look it up. I'm not, so I always say that I want you to vote. How you vote, whom you vote for.
Yeah.
This is democracy. Well, it's not actually a democracy, it's a republic, but that's a whole different other story. But let's just go with democracy.
Right.
Because it's actually a republic, because we send representatives to DC to vote to vote our interests, the district that they are supposed to represent.
On the behalf of,
representation. Yeah. But besides that, my thought about this is that even if you vote your self-interest, just vote your self-interest. Because if you vote your self-interest, I think you will learn that perhaps that's not the gentleman for you. If you look at your socioeconomic growth or stagnation, whatever you want to call it, just look at that. Just look at that. Look at your state.
Please look at your state.
Oh, please look at your state, honey. Because if you think about, we always say vote down ballot. Make sure you know who's down ballot.
Yeah.
Because if you want to talk about people who affect your lives, honey, look at your sheriff, look at your judges for your state. Look at those people, because those
attorneys
will
and all that good stuff.
directly affect your life.
Yeah.
The president needs help. She can't do it by herself.
And that's the other part.
She can't do it by herself.
As we talk, like that's the part that I was also saying. Her team is what we need to be paying attention to as well.
Absolutely.
Now let's look at the teams. Like I look at Trump's team, I look at Harris's team. I'm just like, well, I like this team over here better. Like once again, there's nobody over there that Trump has landed that you're like, well, I don't know.
Absolutely. And not only that, but he's got people that are defecting.
Yeah.
I mean, they have jumped ship a long time ago.
It speaks volumes when you've selected people to be in certain positions or they're a part of your party and they still say, I can't rock with this guy.
I can't rock with you.
I can't rock with this guy.
I cannot ride with you.
I would rather go against the party than to deal with you.
Yes.
And that's wild.
Isn't that wild? I mean, you are like, look, I cannot roll with you like this.
Yeah.
That takes a lot because those people that have, quote, defected.
Yeah.
Those are some diehard Republicans.
Yeah.
Those people have been born into it. Their fathers and their fathers. I mean, their whole families. I mean, look at that little Cheney woman. I mean, come on. And she was like, I can have no more of this. I cannot
Completely
stomach any more of this because this is not representing the party that I grew up in.
Right.
That is saying something.
Insane.
McCain.
Yeah.
I mean, literally a ride or die Republican.
Right.
And he was like, I cannot be down with this.
It's too much.
To his dying day, he was like, I cannot do this.
I can't. This is not right.
This is not my party. So come on.
So with that being said, like we said, two things there are, and this is the other part.
Yeah.
Vote. Period. Even if you are going to vote exercise your right because people have died for that opportunity. There are people have died for the opportunity to be able to vote. So please don't say, oh, your vote doesn't matter. Absolutely it does matter. The propaganda is to get you to believe that your vote doesn't matter, so that you don't go out there and actually exercise your right. If your vote didn't matter, you wouldn't have seen Trump trip at the very end talking about Biden didn't win. Let's go count what votes. So voting matters. Like, it's a thing.
They wouldn't try so hard to take away your vote.
Exactly.
Because they work really hard.
Consistently.
I mean, here in the state of North Carolina, you have the voter ID issue. You've got changes in districts.
Yeah.
You've got people not, voter registration,
Wasn't there a time when they were tampering with the machines? Like
allegedly.
the machines were being tampered with. Like you said, that there are ways.
Well, yeah. So if people are trying that hard to take away your vote. Don't you think it matters?
It matters.
It matters.
It
It is
matters.
literally life or death for them, because people always say, "Oh, well, it doesn't matter," And then let's not go into electoral college, but but it does matter, because the way the system works out is that your vote is representative, let's say, of your state.
Yes.
And that state, those people that are assigned to your electoral college, those people are the ones that are supposed to vote the majority of people in the state. So every vote matters.
Every vote counts.
It really does. Don't get me wrong. I do not like the electoral college.
Right.
It's an old, antiquated system, but that's how your vote matters.
Yeah.
That's how your vote counts. If it didn't, you would not have the former president calling, down to Georgia saying, I need 11,000, a little over 11,000 votes to win the state of Georgia, so that those electoral candidate people can vote for me. So your state can turn red.
So it's a red.
It matters. So those little over 11,000 people who voted, Democratic, it matters.
It mattered. It was a big deal.
And we here in the state of North Carolina, we are purplish. But I will say this: undecided, the amount of undecided people, the percentage of undecided, is more than the Democrats and Republicans.
Okay.
That's why she's
That's why she's here so much.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
We're like a second home to her. Because it's more than.
Yeah.
And undecided people, they matter. They matter.
Yeah.
And those are people she's trying to persuade.
Yeah. Like, I do agree. Like last time we talked about this, you said most people already have their side.
Yeah.
And I think that's true.
Yeah. If you're a Republican, you're a Republican. If you're a Democrat, you're a Democrat, which is why, and neither one of those camps are going to change. Neither one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just life.
Right.
But that, 35% that are undecided?
Yeah. That's where the battleground is at.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it is.
So then while we're talking about battlegrounds, people, y'all be battling, y'all. Hold on, let me get her off. People, y'all be battling, y'all stressing all that stuff. So,
oh, yes.
we're going to talk a little bit about some CBD. And we're going to specifically talk about gummies because you also have a sale going on still.
I do. It's BOGO. It's
BOGO.
Buy one, get one free.
Right.
This month.
Yes.
And y'all, today's the 18th?
We still got about 2.5 weeks left.
So we got about 2.5 weeks left. But yes, we're doing BOGO
so
this month.
With that,
yes,
we were talking before and we had our points that we wanted to discuss where there are some key things or misconceptions or just key main things that we want to talk about the gummies.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go into that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So
let's do it.
One of the misconceptions that we talk about with the gummies all the time, inside and out, is, will it get me high?
No. So we've talked about this. We've talked about that there has to be an insane accumulation. So let's do some calculation. We always said that it's done by body weight and I hate to say this, percent of body fat that you have. And we've talked about this. Every day, consistently, probably for a 70-kilo person, probably about maybe roughly, don't call it, maybe 4 months, 5 months. And that's maybe of like 20 milligrams a day. Every day, several times a day. I mean,
you have to be hitting it hard.
You got to be hitting it hard.
Yeah,
you really do.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that you're definitely gonna test positive then. Yeah. To be honest with you,
right.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm saying that you gotta really commit. I mean, because my Delta 8 and CBD is the legal limit of the state of North Carolina, well, in most states, is less than 0.3%. Mine actually have less than that.
Okay.
So it literally is because the plant itself is 99.7% straight CBD.
Right.
And so I try to do as pure as possible.
And with the plant,
yeah,
because that's a big part of people not knowing
hemp.
Exactly, about hemp.
Yeah.
So if you can just speak a bit about just hemp itself and the purity of it.
Well, as we all know, hemp has been around since the creation of time.
Since the beginning.
I mean, you can't go any further back than that.
Correct.
Since literally the creation of time. I think that most people know hemp in the industrial sense.
Yes, ma'am.
Clothes. You know, we do know the agricultural aspect of hemp. However, hemp has other medicinal purposes.
Right.
And that medicinal purpose, honey, is the culmination of CBD, which is all natural. It is, we have talked ad nauseum about the healing properties of CBD. Anti-inflammatory, works on, indirectly with your CBD1 and CBD2 receptors in your body. It works to give you a homeostasis, which balance.
Balance. I was
We're
going to say
balance.
Even kill.
And that's what it's for. It's to help with that. It always has been. It always will be.
And one of the points that I was pulling up, because I think, and we talked a little bit about it when we were speaking about how you wind down, and then also for people who I work with as teachers, like
this cup.
Anxiety. Like, so can you speak about the anxiety, how it helps with the anxiety?
Absolutely.
And where it's not a downer where you're going to go too low.
No. Okay. The huge details you can find at thehealingconsultant.com.
Please
on my
go
blog.
to the healing. Yes.
But brief. It does. When you have these high anxiety levels, it honestly just helps balance you down to level. It's not this peak and trough. It's not this up and down swing you have. It honestly brings you down to a balance, to just a level, just so that you're not high. Things come at you. They come in, they go out. You can process. You can breathe through it. You can say, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
that's how it goes in and out.
They're legal. That's the other part.
Yes.
Because people,
up under the
even
Farm
some of
Act of 2018.
the teachers that I work with, is it legal? It's legal.
It's absolutely legal.
Yes. Talk about it.
Absolutely legal. Again, I have a blog all about it on thehealingconsultant.com if you want details. But yes, hemp came in up under the Farm Act of 2018. And so it came into law, and that's how hemp growers work. That's how hemp is produced. It is only with the grower, the manufacturer, with people like me who actually have gone through the process, who continue to go through the process, and who have independent certificate of analysis,
right?
Where you know how incredibly fabulous that product is.
There's a little QR code,
and people like me have to comply to the law,
right?
We have to. I just send in my certificate of analysis to the state, just so they knew, that this is done correctly,
right?
That it is within full regulation of the Farm Act, which is a federal law,
right?
Which is federal law, the Farm Act of 2018.
Is this something that can be prescribed? So, like,
no one can prescribe. No one can prescribe cannabis. Cannabis, as we know, is different from that. So no one in the country. You can suggest, you can recommend, and that's what every healthcare provider does.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not every, but people who are in this space.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes. Because that's a big thing. Because when people get their card to be able to have
Medical marijuana.
Yes,
That's different.
They think that, oh, I can get a prescription for this. Is that a thing where they can get a prescription because they have
Not
the card?
here, not yet. You can go to Maryland and do it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I have friends that I have nurse practitioners.
Okay.
I know nurse practitioners that that do that.
Mhm.
But here's the thing.
Mhm.
State by state are different laws, but those are cannabis laws.
Mhm. Mhm.
Different between hemp and cannabis.
Mhm.
We've discussed that. Cannabis has a higher THC level.
Mhm. Mhm.
The hemp plant has less than 0.3%.
So let me ask you this: when you
different.
are buying, and I think this is something important to know, when you go to one of those vape stores,
Mm,
is it
Okay.
possible that they have a mixture of the two
Mhm.
with a higher dosage of THC
Absolutely.
inside their gummies? You know what I
Absolutely. That's what that's what, I mean, a lot of people have experienced what they call a bad trip.
mean? Mhm.
That's why.
I
That is
did.
why.
My first
That is a
experience with a
high
gummy was the
THC.
worst experience ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a high THC level
Mhm.
because all of that psychosis, what we call paranoia, the
Mhm.
increased heart rate,
Mhm.
you can't sit down, you don't know what's
Mhm.
going on, you just
Thinking
spiraling.
you're about to die.
You're not going to unless you have some pre-existing issues. You're not going. You may think you are,
Yeah.
but you're not going to. It's just like I said, unless you have like some pre-existing heart issue,
Yeah.
something like that. But high THC levels,
Mhm.
that's considered an overdose.
Mhm. I got you.
That's
Okay.
that's an overdose
So-
when you start having those symptoms.
So you got to be careful because the one thing
Absolutely.
that these young people do, and there was a young man in my class today who got
Oh,
caught.
no.
You get these vape pens or you have these
Mhm.
gummies and you get them from these vape stores and you don't know what you are ingesting.
No.
And just because it either is packaged pretty or smells a certain way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they do.
Yeah.
They, marketing,
Mhm.
PR campaigns are geared. I mean, we talked about the vape
Mhm.
pen. I mean, they're geared to a younger demographic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're pretty, they smell good,
Mhm.
they look good.
Mhm.
Sometimes they taste good because you
Mhm.
can
Mhm.
add flavors to them.
Yeah.
And they get wrapped up in that.
Mhm.
But nowhere have they nowhere, I don't believe on the packaging did it say exactly what was in it.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It just says that it may cause, harm, blah blah blah. But
And it
to
certainly
get
may.
to get an ingredient
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
that box is not there.
Absolutely.
So how does this slip past the?
It's not regulated.
Okay.
It is not a regulated field. We're trying.
Yeah.
And each state has each state works on whether they decide it's going to be recreational marijuana, whether they decide it's going to be medicinal.
Mhm.
That's the problem.
Right. Okay.
That's the problem.
Got you.
And everyone else is kind of left to I'm not going to say to your own demise,
Mhm.
but just left.
Yeah.
And so it is up to the individual
Mhm.
company,
Mhm.
practitioner,
Mhm.
to do things like, to do an independent third party testing
Yeah.
of, and get a COA.
Mhm.
That's just your own ethical
Yeah.
standard,
Got
to be
you.
honest.
Got you.
I mean, that's the truth.
Because it's not necessary, or it
No,
is
not right
necessary.
now.
No, okay.
And
Okay.
depending on what state you're in,
Mhm.
because I mean, then you get into whole dispensaries and
Mhm.
other things.
Mhm.
But it's a
Mhm.
slippery slope. I think number one, because when you have to decide what you want to do.
Mhm.
Do you want to do a high CBD level
Mhm.
for which you're not going to get high?
Right.
You're just going to feel balanced.
Mhm.
Do you want that?
Mhm.
Which the gummies will do.
Mhm.
The gummies will kick in. We've discussed this.
Mhm.
It goes through your digestion.
Mhm.
So it kicks in about an hour and a half after you ingest. But it's a longer term.
Mhm.
So it kind of lasts you through the day.
Mhm.
And you feel balanced.
Right.
But you either do that or you decide that you want kind of a mind altering
Mhm.
thing, good or bad.
Right.
It just depends.
And
'Cause you don't
so
know.
with your gummies,
Mm.
how does one calibrate?
Okay.
Mhm.
So recommendations.
Mhm.
We've always talked about that. It is my recommendation or suggestion,
Mhm.
because I always suggest, the rule is go low, start low,
Mhm.
and then go up,
Mhm.
low and slow.
Mhm.
Not so. Here's the thing: it's not like cannabis,
Mhm.
but I still like, because there's, you're not getting that high.
Yeah.
But I still like for people to go low and slow.
Mhm.
And I suggest
Mhm.
like a half a gummy.
Okay.
And then if you're like, okay, yeah, well, okay, how do I feel? Because you need to know how you feel.
Yeah, you do.
You need to know how
Yeah.
you feel.
Yeah.
And each person is different how they feel.
And that's hilarious because I've said it before.
Yeah.
I can only do a half,
Yeah.
but my fiance can do a whole.
Absolutely.
And she's fine with a whole. And a whole for
She's
me
fine.
is too much.
Yeah.
Like, and it, like, once again, like you said, it's not for the CBD gummies. It's not
that.
what,
It's
when I say too much, it's not like I'm like, ugh.
yeah, no, well, because it doesn't do that.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't do that.
Mhm.
And I think that's what people have difficulty understanding.
Yes.
So I always suggest a half,
Mhm.
and you're like, okay, I'm not really feeling balanced. I'm still kind of struggling with that.
Mhm.
Then do a whole.
Mhm.
And then you can always titrate up from there.
Mhm.
The gummies
Mhm.
are 10 milligrams per,
Mhm.
and the Delta 8 for sleep
Mhm.
is 15.
Mhm.
And the same rules apply.
Yeah. Mhm.
I always suggest try anywhere from a quarter to a half
Mhm.
to begin with.
Mhm.
See how you fall asleep, especially like with the Delta 8.
Yeah.
See how you fall asleep. If it takes a little bit longer, if you're like, okay, yeah, I slept, but I would like to do a little more sounder sleep,
Mhm.
a little bit longer, then okay.
Mhm.
Then try a whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, then try a whole.
Cool.
I mean, and that's the way it works.
Yeah.
It's not because each person is individual.
Mhm.
We are all special
Mhm.
in our own
Mhm.
way,
Mhm.
and we're individual people.
Yeah. And so, do you combo anything?
You can combo anything.
Okay.
Because we're not talking, again, we're not talking cannabis.
Mhm.
We're not talking that you're going to get high.
Mhm.
We're not talking that.
So I can hit a half of gummy and then my drops
You can do,
and be okay.
You can do CBD and drops in the morning
Mhm.
through the afternoon, and you can wind down with a Delta 8 at night.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good.
You can do that.
I'm speaking from experience, guys. This information is for you guys, but I know
Yes.
my combination is half of a Delta 8 and the oil.
Oh, yes.
The oil is fantastic.
The oil
The
for
only
relaxing
reason-
and calming.
Yeah, we're
the
just
end of
talking
your
about
day?
the gummies because
Mm.
it's a sale on it. But if I do want to plug something, I'm trying to tell y'all, and this ain't just because we work with Auntie V. I'm telling y'all that oil, and you don't need a lot. A little goes a
No.
long way, but it just makes you feel so chill and so relaxed. It's a part of my night and morning routine. So,
Yeah. And it's moisturizing too.
yes, like I was going to say, I use it pretty much
Honey.
like the lotion.
You like butter.
Yeah.
It's like butter. It is.
It is. I mean,
it is.
yeah, I enjoy it. Like I said, I enjoy the smell when
Mhm.
it's on my beard and all that stuff. So like for me, that's my combination. You can take your own combination, but the biggest thing we want you to do is buy
Yes.
at thehealingconsultant.com.
Thehealingconsultant.com.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because that's what it's all about.
Mhm.
And this is all about you.
Mhm.
It's all about you.
Mhm.
It's honestly spending the time and the effort on you,
Mhm.
because you just can't. You
Mhm.
cannot pour from a cup that's empty.
Right.
You have to take care of yourself. These are tools, these are suggestions
Mhm.
to take care of you,
Mhm.
because you are the most important person.
Yes.
You can't sacrifice, everything when you don't have everything. You don't have anything to give.
And the goal is to get you to a baseline so that you can
God,
just receive and give. Like I can receive the information coming in and then give information from my processing. The biggest part that I've realized with using this stuff is it's helping me with processing. Like, because sometimes you just go on auto and you're just on autopilot and then you go until you crash. And that was the type of person I was.
Yeah, because we're all used to high levels of stress.
Yeah.
Because we live there.
Mm-hmm.
We all live there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I'm trying to get people to understand is that A, you don't have to live there.
Mm-hmm.
And B, it's not healthy to live there.
Yes.
You know, we talk about the high rate of African-American men who die of high blood pressure, of heart attacks. And it's because they live in a high stress. African-American women do too. But I would say, you know, blacks and colored people, minority, whatever color it is, you know, other.
Yeah.
And we live
that
other.
box that says other.
Yes, because that's encompassing. That's everybody. That's everybody. And you live up here. You always live up here.
There's something that you said that I live with, and I'm going to repeat it because you know it helps me realize my pain. And you said everybody is in some form of pain and have a threshold of pain. And by the time they see me, most of the time it's too late.
Yeah.
And so what I try to do is identify, like, all right, how the hell am I feeling? You know, like, am I just trying to suck it up? Meanwhile, there's something wrong or something's hurting. You know what I mean? Because
we all are. I think everybody is. I think everybody. If you've done any bit of living, you know, it's what you're used to. You're just used to it. It's, you know, you just live with the stress and the pain because you're like, well, okay, that's what I'm living with. That's what I'm dealing with.
Right.
But it doesn't, you know, I always say pain doesn't have to be permanent.
Yeah. You don't have to stay there.
You don't have to stay there. You know, get help, you know, as I say, help me help you. You know, find, because you can.
Yeah.
There are things that you can do.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, you know, of course, I always say this. I'm like, no, you know, if you need a hip replacement, I can't, you know, it's not going to replace your hip.
Right.
But it can decrease the inflammation. It can decrease the pain that you're going through. That's what I'm saying. I'm not, you know, there is no magic bullet for this thing called life.
No, because you have to deal with it.
Because you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's how you deal with it. And it's giving people tools to deal with it. And that, you know, and it's our products, my products are one of many things that I truly believe people need to do because you're healing yourself. And, you know, and I mean, we talk about meditation, we talk about people's mental, you know, stress that they
building
have.
Those boundaries and, you know, separating yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. But pain comes in a whole bunch of different ways.
Don't it?
It comes in a whole bunch of different ways.
So there was something that, especially for the brothers, what I was learning about, and this comes from my friend Lena, who watches the show all the time, and she spoke on every time you experience a loss, it starts a grieving process in you. And so there's different stages of grieving, and based upon how many losses you have experienced, your chemical balance inside of you is offset if you don't have means of how to handle your losses and bad days and all that. So then now you just reset. And that's something that I was working on, even with dealing with the loss of my mom, because it was like every dream, it was a reset. But I wasn't doing, at first I wasn't doing anything about it. I was just, oh, that's just the way it is. No, that's not the way it is. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be the way it is because stress can cut your life short.
Yeah. But
it can cut your life short.
And
I'm telling you,
for my people out there, especially those that are in high risk jobs, and I'll say high risk because like coaching and things like that, you guys, I see it in some of the guys, and I'm going to talk about this on Saturday, so I'm not going to stay on this point. But I see it in some of the guys that I used to work with and coach with that now, because I'm on the outside in and I'm not coaching, you don't realize how taxing it is, and you can see it on their body. So when
Absolutely.
people are looking at me like, you're losing weight, you're looking good, da, 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 and I'm looking at them like, you're letting this take you out. Like,
because you're looking at yourself and your life in a more holistic view.
Yeah,
because it's a journey.
Yeah,
and it's not just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just exercise, because you got to get the exercise.
Yeah.
It's a mental shit. It's working on your mental, it's working on your spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that is.
Yeah,
and it's working on your body.
Right.
It's working on healing that.
Right.
And it's an incorporation of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, we have people on the program
Mm-hmm.
that we discuss that.
Mm-hmm.
Auntie V has James and Dr. Janza.
Dr. Jans, yeah.
And we have a lot of people, because it's not a singular trip.
No.
It's not monolithic.
No.
When they say it takes a village, it takes
Right.
a village.
And you just got to get to baseline. And
you do.
That's the part where I just want to see, especially more men. I don't think they realize how much they operate in a deficit.
Absolutely.
And you're not even at baseline. You just more so on just, all right, this is the next task. This is the next task. And you're not getting a chance to actually live life.
No, because men are task oriented.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Women, we always, the great thing about women is that we multitask.
Mm-hmm.
So our stress level is on different planes. But men are task driven.
Mm-hmm.
It's one task after another task after another task.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you operate on this task system, but you never truly resolve the task.
No, it's
but yet you add another task.
Now here comes more.
Yes. Because women have multiple, I would say women have multiple files open. So we operate on this stress because we have input, we have files. And so we're multitasking, but men have this file, it's open. Okay, we're doing this. Okay, but someone asked us to open up another file.
Yeah.
So you have, they're two singular tasks. You're not multitasking.
And now here comes there goes the stress.
There you go.
Because I didn't get a chance to close this one.
You didn't get a chance to close the file.
And that's Kim and I, brother and sister. She can do 1,000 things. And then while she's talking and she's clicking and it's just done and I sent this and I'm like, yo, just give me one thing at a time, yo.
Yep.
And then once we get done with that, then I can move to the next one. But when you start opening up those tasks and like you said, we're not closing them behind. And I know for brothers out there, that's how we feel like, okay, I got this accomplished. What's next? And life just ain't lifing like that right now.
No.
Things are coming so damn quick. And before you know it, the year's gone past and you're still fighting
got
with
tabs open.
Yeah.
And for men, that's a problem.
Yeah.
For men, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Women in general can operate with multiple tasks open. Because that's the way we live. And we understand that we're not closing tabs.
Right.
So, we're trying to deal with the stress and bring it down.
Right.
Which is why, I always say, okay, use the CBD drops because you're trying to maintain open tabs throughout your day, but you're just trying to bring the stress down.
Right.
The drops and the gummies, that's how that works because you want long-term. Men have the tabs open. They're stressed because they're not closing tabs.
Right. I'm not getting it done.
You're not getting it done. You're not having the opportunity to close your tabs.
And a lot of us base our value on getting it done.
Getting it done because you're task oriented. Because you just feel like you have to close the tab. I got to get it done. I got to get it done. This is what's expected of me. I got to get it done.
Yeah.
So men have multiple tasks open, but now they're not going to deal with multiple things at the same time.
And for multiple days.
You're not going to do that.
Right.
Now the tab might be open.
Right. But it's going to be ignored.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's going to be ignored.
Yeah.
So you have to have the opportunity to bring it down, understand that I may not be able to resolve this tab right now, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And have the opportunity to bring your stress level down that you recognize, okay, well, it's a tab open.
Yeah.
It ain't going to get done
to
today.
it. Yeah, I'll get to it.
And
that's something I had to learn. And I learned it from my fiance because she's multiple tabs open type of person. And it was like, it's okay to not get it done. And I'm like, it ain't okay. I got to get this done. Like, why isn't it finished? Or if something goes wrong, okay, well, just move to this. No, I can't move to that yet. This is the problem. I got to figure.
Because you got to solve problems. Men have to solve problems.
Yeah, this is the problem. I need this done.
Yeah.
And so with me, my journey with just, like you said, the mixture of everything with decreasing stress and exercising and eating right and paying attention to and fasting and feeling where my body's like, nah, you need this now. No, you don't need as much as this anymore. And adding in these ingredients have allowed me to have a baseline to where I can receive things and hear, because before I was just moving. I ain't gonna lie. And I know a lot of brothers do that too. That's why I suggest using the products. And I also suggest a lot of the topicals for us because tension. Like I had somebody say, pay attention to your posture when you're driving. So your posture when you're driving, sometimes I notice like going to work, I'm on the wheel and I'm up.
And I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I so tight? Just
you're
relax.
You're 9'3" in it.
Yeah.
And you're right here. Yeah.
And why? Like, what am I doing in my mind to where I'm like, I gotta get there? Like, relax.
Because you don't.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen.
The building will be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you don't make us, they'll feel you. They'll feel it in the
It'll
face.
keep rolling.
Absolutely, they will. And I tell people that all the time. We would all like to think that we're that important.
Yeah,
but we aren't.
We're not. Yeah.
At least not to your job. I mean, they're gonna find somebody else.
Yeah.
If I tell people, if you drop dead today, they go, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." The next day, they're gonna have somebody else.
They start planning.
Absolutely.
Here we go. We gotta get somebody to fill that spot.
We really hate it. We'll send some flowers.
Yeah.
We'll pay out the PTO or whatever it is they have left.
Right.
And then they move.
Yeah. And now on that job board,
absolutely,
there goes you're on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're done.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people. You have to bring it down.
Yeah.
Bring it down. Because you don't have to be there.
Right.
And I know. I know. I've had incredible loss and tragedy in my life. And that's and you realize if you don't have any in reserve, if you don't have anything to help you through it, because there's nobody else that's going to help you but you. There isn't anybody. And I think that's what people need to understand. Please.
Yeah.
That's me just really just saying, take care of yourself. Like the little girl in the seat, say, take care of yourself.
Well, I'm going to say, I appreciate you and I appreciate your products because it's helped me. So I thank you for it. Because I know one thing, if you opened up that front zipper on my book bag, them drops is right in there. That's an everyday thing for me. 2 in my Gatorade bottle every day.
And it will get you through your day.
It does.
That
people ask me all the time, why are you smiling? Because why not?
Why not? Because you're here.
Yeah.
Because you're not up.
I already know the BS is coming. I'm good.
Yes. Input, output.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So tell folks where you can get the gummies before we get ready to get up out of here.
Yes. thehealingconsultant.com. And please, Instagram is The Healing CBD. Follow, like, share. And Facebook, The Healing Consultant.
And make sure you take advantage of the BOGO, because I don't want to hear y'all try to get the BOGO after the time has passed. Don't do that.
It's not. Yeah, that's not a thing.
Can I still get? Don't do that.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, you still. We got 2.5. That means you got at least one more payday coming up.
Certainly do. You certainly do.
So hit that payday.
Hit that.
Go ahead and get you some.
Absolutely.
And you can holler at us at TDS Radio or go to thehealingconsultant.com. And then also check out all the blogs and all the other information that's there for you so that you can get well informed.
Well, yes. And if you want, because be informed.
Yeah.
I encourage you to.
Yeah.
Take a deep dive.
Yeah.
Because it's your health.
Yes.
It's your health.
It's a healthy rabbit hole to go into.
And it's yours. No one can make that trip but you.
Yeah.
You got to commit to yourself.
I think that's the perfect way to end. Commit to yourself.
Commit to yourself.
So I won't be here tomorrow, but we will be here Friday. So tune in to TDS Radio on Friday. So until then, y'all love yourself. And I'm out.
Yes.
God willing, see you Friday. Peace.